So today we'll discuss the last topic of chapter number 4, and the name of the chapter is Early Stages of Collective Action, Characteristics and Analysis. The topic we will discuss today, that too, Expression of Nationalism in Literature and Art, Characteristics and Analysis. In Bengali, this is termed as Lekhai o Rekhaয় জাতীয়তাবাদের বিকাশ আলোচনা করো. You may think, children, that why I'm just telling it in Bengali, as because whenever you will solve the Bengali test papers like ABTA, WBTA, Porshod, at the time you will just face this question several times, as because the question is very important for the academic session of 2021, and for that reason I have just termed this that Lekhai o Rekhaয় জাতীয়তাবাদের বিকাশ আলোচনা করো. To discuss about this topic, we have to just keep remember in our mind that expression of nationalism, whereas literature and art had played a very dramatic role in promoting the national awakening amongst the Bengalis as well as in the Indians. You know that the Renaissance for the first time arrived in Bengal or Kolkata or Calcutta at the time, most importantly, was the pioneer center of Renaissance. So for that moment, for that reason, to just bring down the nationalism, to just bring forward the nationalism in literature and art was means tremendously awesome. We know that the soldiers who can just go over there for a battlefield to just do the fight with the enemies, where the artist, cartoonist, poet, they cannot just fight with the sword, they can just fight with their print media, they can just fight with their pen, their brush, their canvas and all these things. Just like that, today we will discuss that expression of nationalism in literature and art. Here we will just discuss about the four major things. First, this will be Anandamath of Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. Second, this will be Vartaman Bharat or Present India of Swami Vivekananda. Next, it will be Gora of Rabindranath Tagore. Next, it will be Bharat Mata, that will be a painting of Abanindranath Tagore. And the last one, it will be Critique of Colonial Society in Gaganendranath Tagore's caricature. I will also tell you that what is the difference between the cartoon and caricature. You will just come to know at the end of the video. You will just come to know that what is the basic difference between the caricature and cartoon. And up to this, the chapter will be just accomplished. Okay, let me tell you that Anandamath. In Bengali, this is also termed as Anandamath. Anandamath, it was a novel. It was a great novel that was just composed by Bankim Chattopadhyay, and it was first published in Bengali. It was in the year of 1882. Later, in the following years, it was translated into English. It was edited. First, it was in the year of 1906. Later, in the year of 1941, and the last time it was edited, means this novel was edited or modified in the year of 2005. The total page number of this novel Anandamath is 336. Now, why is Anandamath also called that it's a Bible of the secret revolutionaries? The first and foremost thing is that Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, he wanted to just capture the eyesight of the young generation or the youths to face the difficulties, to just sort out the difficulties that had been just crept inside the Indian society, especially amongst the Bengali peoples. Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, he came to know that without having the active participation of the young generations or the youths, the mother India cannot just get freedom or the independence from the clutches, from the hands of the British government. So that's why he became quite enthusiastic. He wanted to promote the national awakening, the national harmony amongst all the Indians. That's why his soft target, it became the common young generations or the youths at the time. Anandamath of Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay bears historic worth in the narrative of nationalism in modern India. Here is also a very important fact remains, that is a movement, or it was a mere uprising, that is Sannyasi rebellion. I think from last chapter number 3, you have just come to know Sannyasi rebellion. On the basis of the Sannyasi rebellion, on the context of the Sannyasi rebellion, Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, he had composed this novel Anandamath. written in the background of the Sannyasi rebellion, and Bankim Chandra Chatterjee instilled amongst the Indians the spirit of nationalism. Every time he tried to just bring the nationalism, bring the national feelings, the national awakening amongst the Indian. What he had written, what he had just described in his novel Anandamath, let me tell you. He told that Bharat Mata means India is considered here as a gender female. Once India was absolutely free before coming the British government or the English East India Company. When the English East India Company came, when the power it was transformed or transferred from the hands of the English East India Company to the British government, India came under the domination of the British government at the time. The British, they had started to rule over the entire region. They were not sympathetic towards the Indians and their grievances, their plights. That's why this is the correct time. This is the correct moment. This is the right moment to just fight back against the British government. And who will just fight on behalf of all the Indians? The young generation or the youths, they will just fight. In this novel, Anandamath, Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, he for the first time just wrote the famous song or the famous hymn, that is the Vande Mataram. If we split the word Vande Mataram, we will just come to know two different significant words, and when it is just amalgamated together, it forms one unity. What is that? Vande means Vandana, means to worship something, and Mataram, mom, to you. It means, mom, we do worship to you. Mother India, we are worshipping to you. He just gave a fervent call to all the Indian young generations of the youths to just make free Indians. Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay or Chatterjee, he did not want to see that his mother, means our mother India, will no longer be in chain. That has been just given, given by the British government at that time. The main character of Bankim Chandra, means of this novel, that is Anandamath of Bankim Chandra, it was Sathya Ananda. So in fact, they modeled their societies on the organization founded by Sathya Ananda, the hero of the novel. So if the question comes in your question paper that who was the hero of Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay's novel Anandamath, you can just write Sathya Ananda. He was one of the most famous characters of this novel also. Some people accused Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay as one of the one who upheld the ideals of aggressive nationalism, as because Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, he was in favor to just get the freedom from the British government. He had just determined, he had just dependent on the Indian young generations or the youths only. So that's why his activities, his writings, his way of writings, everything just went against the old mentalities or the backward mentalities. So that's why few historians, few people are there who consider that Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, who had just propagated the aggressive nationalism at the time. But actually, Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay in his novel Anandamath, he literally wanted to just give a fervent call to all the young generations, all youths, to just fight shoulder to shoulder against the British oppression. Okay, the concept of Bharat Mata emerges from the Anandamath. As for women's participation in the national struggle, it was quite very good. As we all know that the participation of women in the national movement, in the national struggle of India, it was quite appreciable. So that's why Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, he considered that Mother India, means our country, our beloved country, it should be, the country should be just considered, should be just recognized as a female figurine. So that's why he did so. One finds a young lady, Shanti, who could jump and ride on horse as any horseman. Thus, in many ways, Anandamath played a crucial role in the national awareness. So here, Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay not only focused on the young generations or the youths, as per their needs. We know that the women of India at the time, especially from Bengal, they had also just participated, they had also just joined in the Indian freedom struggle movement just like the men. How can we just forget different ladies from India who were very much means capable in horse riding, means throwing arrows, blades, etc. In the early Vedic period, in the early Vedic age of India, we have just come to know different names of girls or women at the time. Few of them were Apala, Ghosha, Vishwabara, Lopamudra, Gargi. So many women, so many girls were there. So the prominence of girls or the women in sometimes in few extent it was limited when the society became patriarchal, or the male-centric society prevailed over there since that time. But in the Indian freedom struggle movement, the participation of women, it was there is no shred of doubt that that was tremendously awesome. That was very good. Okay, in the next topic we will discuss about Vartaman Bharat of Swami Vivekananda. Vartaman Bharat